I'm on page 54, and we are supposed to round to the nearest whole number. And let me just give you a little bit of help on the rounding rule, a way to scaffold your rounding rule. If you draw, and let me see, I'm going to do that right down here because I need some space. So draw yourself a heel. Looks like the bell-shaped curve. And on the top of the heel, put the number 5. And then after 5, you have the numbers up to 9. And below 5, you have 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So from 5 to 9, we're going to call that the round up side. And from 4 down to 0 is the stay side. So round up. And you're always looking at the neighbor. Okay. So let me get a copy of this so that I can bring it in when I need it. All right, so let's look up here at this one, round to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to underline the whole number, and I'm going to look back at the neighbor. And then I'm going to apply my rounding rule. Once you get the neighbor, get everything figured out, we're going to apply the rounding rule. And that's where we need to think about this scaffold. Look at the neighbor. The neighbor is an 8. That's in the round up side. So we're going to round up to 13. The neighbor is what tells you what to do. I don't think this is going to work too well. So it is approximately, or it is closer to 13 than to 12. In this one, we're rounding to the whole number, so you look at the neighbor, and the neighbor says to round up. Here, we're looking at the whole number. We look at the neighbor. The 0 says to stay the same. So this one is closer to 5. Here, we look at the neighbor, and the neighbor says round up. Look at the neighbor says stay the same. Look at the neighbor, doesn't matter about those 9s, the neighbor says stay the same. You always look at the next door neighbor. So if you round those to the nearest whole number, you will get those answers. Number 3. The problem, if you put it in your calculator, is this one. This goes in the calculator. The answer, this is called the quotient. It's your answer. And then they want us to round to the 10th, the 100th, and the 1000th. So 4.3125 to the nearest 10th is about 4.3. 4.3125 to the nearest 100th, that's 2 places, is 4.31. And 4.3125 to the nearest 1000th is 4.313. Okay, this number to the nearest tenth is 0.4. This number to the nearest hundredth is 0.42. To the nearest thousandth is 0.417. And then this number to the nearest tenth is 0.2. To the nearest hundredth is 0.16. And to the nearest thousandth is 0.156. And you have to really read instructions to know which place they want you to round. The rainfall for a 3-month period was 8.51 inches. To the nearest inch, how many inches of rain fell? So we're going to take that 8.51. Now they didn't say for each month. They're talking about the whole 3 months. To the nearest inch. So that is closer to 9 than to 8. John is 1.905 meters tall. What is his height to the nearest tenth of a meter? So 1.095 to the tenths place is going to be 1.1. Dyslexia. I wrote the number wrong. Sorry. This is a problem for me. I'm so sorry. 1.9. So he's closer to 2 meters than to 1 meter. Sorry about that. When rounded to the nearest cent, cent is another way of saying hundredth, because there are 100 pennies in a dollar. Which of these answer amounts would round to 1560? So let's try this one. This one would be about 1547. This one would be about 1559. This one is about 1559. And this one is about 1560. That's the one that would round to 1560. A credit card has a thickness of 0.076 centimeters. What is the thickness to the nearest, there's the rounding clue, the nearest tenth of a centimeter? So we're looking at this place, and it would be 0.1, or answer B, as in Bravo. 7 friends are splitting the cost of a meal. Tom plans to divide the total by 7 and then round to the nearest cent. For how many decimal places will he need to continue the division to be able to round as planned? Well, they tell us that we want cents. That's hundredths. That's 2 places. We need to see the thousandths place. That's 3 places to know how to round. So the answer to this question is B. We need 3 places because that would tell us whether to stay or round up in the 3rd place. So for example, if you had 2 places to round, you need to look at that 3rd place to know how to round. And that's what this question is asking.